Hello guys, welcome to TwinSisStudy technology section. Here in this section, we are going to explain you the HTML language with practicals. So stay tuned. So on internet, you can find the various definitions of HTML, but the HTML is the markup language for the beginners to create the web pages in which are used in the web development. So as per the definition from the internet is that HTML is first developed by Tim Berners-Lee in 1990. This is known as markup language, which contains symbols and tags to create the pages, electronic document, which displayed in www World Wide Web or in browser like Internet Explorer, Chrome, Mozilla, Netscape, and Opera. On the other hand, if you search about the www, what is the www is? This is commonly known as the web, which reside on the internet, just like the example that you open any site www.microsoft.com or something else. So guys, there we go. Let's right click on any specified folder and click on new text document and rename it as per your consent. Like I have just done basic html.text, or you can even press the window key plus R and then type notepad and then save your document as basic HTML in particular folder. So what make this document as a HTML document? So let's right click it and rename it, and just rename its extension to text to HTML, then right click it on it and then open it in Mozilla. So this will be your first HTML page gets created, which will be the blank one, right? I'm now just going to edit this and open in the notepad again and try to write something. Let's suppose anything you can write as per your choice. Like this is test. I have just save it and I again open it in Mozilla. So there we go. This is the test. This will be your first HTML document. So now let's go again in notepad, try to add some HTML contents. So basically the HTML document contained with the HTML tag, so you have to open the left bracket, less than sign and then greater than sign. Inside that you have to make these HTML tags. So first will be the HTML, then head, and then title. So for every tags that are written inside the HTML, that's need to be closed, right? The next one is the body. Body contains the whole body of your HTML content, and then last slash head and then slash HTML. So within the slash head we have the title and many others tags also. So we also need to close it. Let's open it in the Mozilla browser. So you can see the title, it's displaying incorrectly, so we have to close the tag of the title. So we have to make the head tag under it. See, the head tag is totally closing, but title was not closing, so we have closed the title tag. So now let's move to the body, and we have some basic tags. Let's start with h1, header 1. So basically HTML language comes with h1 tag, which is the header. Everything you will write that will be displayed in a big font size with a big size on your pages. Let's save it and refresh the page and see it. School name will get displayed. So now if I copy it and make the h2 header, it will also named as the header, but its width, its size will be the less than the first one. Say for h1, h2, h3 and h4. So these are the headers you can use on your pages to display the content as per needed. So basically h1 font size is 32 pixel, then followed by the decrement of 8 pixel. So there are various editors are available to write the HTML syntaxes, but here we are going to demonstrate it in the notepad by saving the file in the HTML. So now let's come to the styling. What you mean by styling is that we can color, we can adjust its positions, etc. So now for the h1, say if I want to color the school name with the first h1 with the blue and the second heading with the orange color, and the third heading you just copy and paste the style tag with color, the third one to the gray. So if I save it, and just don't forget to add the semicolon after that, and if I save it, then you can see that the school names first three headers will come in the different colors now. So let's again do more styling. There is a property background color, and if you specify background color for the first one is the light, say any color you can choose it, red, green, pink. So I just chosen the light gray. Now change the color for the third one is green, because I am putting the background color same to all three headers. So let's save it and refresh it. It's not working, so I have made some typo mistake. Let's find out. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's a background, it's a D. There should be a D in the background. Yeah, so let's make it D and then refresh it. Yeah, there it go. We have seen the background color as light gray along with the color of the text. Yeah, so the way you can change your content to the appropriate coloring. So let's pause for the wall page. If you want to apply the paint color, so I have applied the background color to wall page. So this is the way we can do it on the body styling. So I have applied the body styling and make the light pink, so the page become the light pink in the background, right? So I reverted it. So let's move forward. We have the more to go in HTML, so stay tuned. So I have the paragraph tag which start from P tag. You can write P and then close the tag P, so you can write any paragraph. So if you are making a web page for yourself or for your class lecture that you are going to explain to the students, so you can write, or you can copy any content from the internet, or you can write anything whatever you want, just like a paragraph. So you can put them into the P tag. So here I am just writing some of the content about this demonstration. So if you like it, then you can just like this post and demonstration, and if you feel happy, definitely you can subscribe it. So from this P tag, this will act as the paragraph. Then later on I can show you that how you can do the styling on this the text, how you can make the bold, how you can make the italic, how you can color them, how you can make the border. So all you can you're going to learn from this demonstration. Yeah, so let me to type a particular paragraph, so we can copy it. We have the plenty of time to copy it, to make the duplicate. So there will be the 2 paragraphs, or 2 or 3 might be, it's as per your choice, but just change the content there. So let's wait. So you are also going to get this piece of code, HTML code, in the channel description, so where you can copy that and directly paste it on your notepad document, and then you can change the file name to HTML, and then you can try to open it in the Mozilla or internet or Chrome browser. So this the same thing that I'm demonstrating you, so that can be displayed on your laptop or on the computer, so you can try that. So guys, there we go. I have just finished typing it and refresh the page, so the content get listed. So I'm again copying it and making a second paragraph. So but only a distinct thing is that I just added a please note that in a prefix. So I have the two tags. So see now, this whole content, it's spanned just towards the left and the right. There are no spaces, so let me to add some more CSS. This is known as the styling CSS. So I'm adding the margin left to 20 pixel, the margin right to 20 pixel. So if I save this and try to load this page, so you can see there are the spaces in the left hand side and the right hand side. So if you can increase that, definitely this will provide the more spaces inside your pages. So you can, yeah, you can see this is the page, just like a printer page that we print something, and some of the margins left from top, left, right, bottom. So same thing here, we can also write that, right? So you can make your page very impressive. Yeah, so now I'm doing the styling on the paragraph type. So for the paragraph type, I'm typing font weight is bold. We can make the font bolder, like in black colors. You can see when I refresh the page. Now go back and add some more CSS into it. You can add there are plenty of styling available for the HTML language. So now I'm just doing the border. It's 1 pixel solid red semicolon. If I save it, you can see the border comes for the first paragraph. If I increase the border with 3 pixel, then thickness will be increase of the border, right? The same way you can achieve while creating your web page on web pages. So third one, let me to add something more. So now to add, let's try in the second paragraph. So let's add B tag in the opening and the closing of the content. So this will make the content bolder to the second paragraph. Similar way, we can apply the font weight, and even we can apply the bold, or even we can apply the strong, that strong also. That will be, if the text is, you are having the content more important, then you can use the strong. So now I have just used the I italic, so the text become italic, you can see. Or I can, if I use in the first paragraph, font size is 18 pixel. So you can see after saving this, or let me to copy that in the second one to make it 10 pixel, removing all the things. This will differentiate the font size between two paragraphs. See, look at, so first one get increased to 18 pixel, and the second one remain italic and just come to the 10 pixel, because we have not removed the I tag inside the content of the second one, right? So way you can arrange, or you can give the look and feel to your web pages, right? So guys, for the time being, let's remove the border back to the normal and just make the text a little bigger for the second paragraphs. And let's move to the body contents. Let's add div tag. So div will be a container. It's just like a box in your house. Inside the box you just put some items inside that. So same way, this is the container. We can add multiple items, or we can add some multiple forms, say for registration form, or presentation forms, like anything you can put it inside the div. So there can be multiple divs on the web pages. So let's add div and let's add the header inside that class 5th student registration. So even you can see here I'm not closing the h1 tag, but still it will be displayed, right? I'm not going to close that. So thing is that we have to close the tags because for further like this, if you have deployed and this site on some server and there are some analysis to go to apply onto this website like accessibilities, and in that case that will be fail and it will show you some warning messages in your editor. So always try to close the respective tags. Right now let's, I have the two headers, class 5th and student registration. So let's add the styling to div so that div will be visible and you can apply it accordingly, look and feel in your web pages. So let's add width, it's 500 pixel, border 1 pixel, solid gray, right? Height will be approximate, I can adjust 700, yeah. And let's save it. Yeah, so there you go. You can see I have added the div. I mean, it's just like a container. Inside the container you can add multiple various tags to display to the end users. So now let's add margin. See what the margin is, just like the page margin that we have left from the left side, right side, top side and the bottom side. So let's add we have added the margin 100 pixels. So the content of the div has been moved little right side, right to the 100 pixel. So now we can add multiple things. Now we can add the coloring to these headers also, and many more things. So we'll going to add the styling. One thing, if you have noticed, like downloaded the multiple HTML pages from any sites, you have found that the doc type is the HTML. So it's stating that different kind of HTML, like HTML5, and below that there are the HTML4 and 3 pages are there. So the way you can recognize that this page is the normal one or the HTML5 one. So now let's copy the style tag and put it in the div header 1 h1, right? I have just added and I'm just removing and putting the black color, and then color will be the white to make it impressive to the header 1 like class 5th. And the same for s2, I am putting a little different, yeah, let's say the blue color and white. Let's save it, and yeah, there we go, we have the different coloring, right? So now let's move forward. Let me to add something. Say for we are going to present the end users that to submit the student registration form. For that you have to make the analysis what are the required things for the end users. I mean, for you to capture it from the end users, like what the input you will take it from the users. Say just like that, I have just put the br will be the line break. For line break, it will come to the next line. So like the name of the students will be written in the next line, and there is a tag, HTML tag. Input, there are various types, like type is equal to text, checkbox, radio, file, many more. So if you save it simply, then this will display on your form. Like you have seen many forms to be filled up for online for the government or for any competitive test that you have given, so you have already filled up. So now if I remove that br, then the name of the students and the text box just skip to the top. So now there is a value, we can add the value in the input tags. So the value will be written just like enter the student name, right? We can have the watermark, so we'll explain in very other demonstrations, or we can have the validations on these with the JavaScript. Yeah, we will explain you for the next in the next demonstration. So first, let's focus on this basic building the web pages from your laptop or computer. So now I'm adding the styling to it. It's 100 pixel, height will be 40 pixel. There you go, something missed. I think we have missed the double quotes. Yeah, put the double quotes and then refresh it. Yeah, you can see the height will be the 40 pixel and the width will be 100. So let's increase to 300, so the length of the text box gets increased. Now let's there is a space, there is no space between line and the name, so let's add some margins. So you can see the margin first applied to the page level, but if you are having the containers inside that there are the items, then you can use the style as the padding, right? Padding is similar to margin, but padding can be used inside the containers. It's not at the page level. So margin can be used at the page level sometime, but sometime when the page stuck, you can also use the margins inside the div containers element. So see here, I have just given the padding 10, then name has been shifted to right a little bit. So now let me to correct the design, make the height 25 and make the width 200 to that name of the student text box. Yeah, 200. Let's save it. Yeah, that is it. This is the better one. Now let's for the title, like what this text box is meant for, let's add the title. Like title will simply a informative instructions for the end users, that what you have to do is, you do not put anything other, just only to put the student name inside this text box, right? So I have added the title that please enter the student name in this text box because it's mandatory. So for the mandatory, we can also write some asterisks. So you can say if you hover on the text box, it will pop up an instruction that please enter the student name. It's mandatory, right? So this is the very interactive design you can use on your web pages to display to the end users, to make them very impressive for your site to come again. Now let me to copy the same content again and put some other item, like say for class, and just similar way, you need not to write anything, just copy it and change the content only. Now enter the class name, you can put it in the title or in the value field. Yep. There is a mechanism like for displaying the class name, the data we need to display it in the multiple rows. Like say we have added the class, but we have forgot to enter the BR, so we will add the BR in the first student name text box. So our design will come down, the class name will be come down. So now there is a space between them. So either why the space is coming, because we have not used the table structure. So for the table structure, there will be a fixed rows and column that I'm going to explain in next demonstration part 2. So the table structure will be just like that. There will be the two portions, like in first portion the text name of the student, class, roll number, gender. These will be comes in the left hand side, and inside the right hand side we have the boxes, drop downs, radio buttons and the buttons. So the way like we will be going to demonstrate you in the next section. So that's why the design is shifted to the left side for the class. So let's add we will going to add the space between that, or it will shift to the right, but that's not the correct way if we add the multiple spaces. But there is a we can use the span. Either we can use the span, will show you span or div. The difference between that is the div is the container, span is the also the container for the small items to make the arrangement inside the container, right? We will apply the styling on the span to make it left and make it right to the text boxes, or otherwise we have the table structure to correctly display it. Let me go again and add something. This, yeah, span is added already to the class. Let's add the spaces first, and to show yeah, the design gets shifted to the right side, but this is not the correct way, right? So these can be break in the multiple platform, multiple browsers, like if your web page is displayed in the tablet or like high pixel computers or laptop, that can also break. So now this has been so I have applied the margin left to 100 to the span of the text box. This is going to fix that issue, right? So now the issue again comes that why we are taking the user to enter the class name into the text box only, but why we should give the options to use the drop down and combo boxes, so that customer only to select with the list of options provided to the end users. So we are going to make the drop downs where we have the master data, just like a predefined data, like class 1 to class 12. So the end users will be giving a chance to select that particular class while doing the registration from their home, from their laptop or computer. So we are going to add, so let's do not try to add the type is equal to select. There are no select type in the input tags that can provide you the drop down, but inside we have the separate tag in HTML, select and with the options. So first let's add the BR to make it consistent in the third row. So I have added the BR, and let's try to add the select now. So we have the select syntax that I'm going to write. Select, you can write the select, then ID. There must be ID to every HTML control for programming, for the validations, for the JavaScript to be performed in the later demonstration. So that's why we are assigned some ID. ID is just like your PAN card ID or any school card ID or roll number or whatever. So this ID is also need to be presented for web pages to identify that this HTML control has to be using and has to be occupied by the system, whole web page system. So that we can easily track the ID, control and the value inside what actually is written there. So after that writing, you can write the option, then copy paste it up to class 12, right? So just make it the styling, it should be the same width of 200 pixel, just like the text boxes, and there must be a particular margin left should also be there, the 100 pixel. So let's save it. There will be a height also, make the height as 25 pixel and right there it. So there we go, we have excellent design here. Look, and it looks good now. So we have the options provided to the end user that you can select from the multiple options as per your choice, right? So here the second, we have the two classes row. So first one, we can change it to the roll number, or let's add some. See, these three rows are almost are stick together, so let's add line height. I have added the line height to 30 pixel to the div, so it's make it having a space between them. So now let's rename the class to roll number, and then enter the roll number. Yeah, it will look good. Yeah, it's enter the roll number, it's mandatory. Enter the roll number will be printed in the text box. So let's save it. In now look at, we have already fixed for the class the width for the class, but we have added the number, then content has been shifted to the right. So we have removed 100 pixel to 51, so we have added 50 pixel now for the roll number. Yep. So let's move forward. So let's try to add the buttons. Like you have seen in many web pages, there are the buttons. So I have just copied some content, and I am renaming the title to replacing the title like please click to reset the values, and type will be the button. So if you write the button, then the type is equal to button, then input control will be span as the button. If you will go with the checkbox radio, then accordingly I will show you. So I have the two buttons, one for reset value. So let me to add the BR to adjust it in the next line. So I do not need anything after that, so that's why I have removed that. But inside this I have to add one more button like submit. So I have pasted that, or submit or registered. You can change the title accordingly. Click to register the student, or you can add the value, not submit but type registered, because we are registering the form. So now let's refresh it, and these two buttons will appear along with the title. So these are the left line again, because it's not a table structure, so we will put them one more BR to make it visible correctly, and we will have the padding left to the first button with some 100 pixel or 150 pixel might be. Yeah, let's see that. So there we go, we have added the margin left to 150 pixel. So just try adding padding left at your own. So will that be fixed or not? You can just comment it, then I can provide you the solution for that. So this alignment has been adjusted. So now let me to add something more after the class drop down, like gender. So in the input form, if you have seen that there are many options like date of birth, gender, and in which classes you are want to enroll or register. So that all I'm going to demonstrate here. So first let's demonstrate the gender. So gender will be male or female. So for the male you have to type input type is equal to radio means either you have to give the options to the end users to select any one options, right? Just like that. So again, there will be it's not a table structure, then spacing will be an issue, so we can add the spanning to gender or in the right hand side radio buttons. So let's do it. So we have done adding the spanning, so I have just put margin left to 90 pixels. So let me to refresh that. It's aligned, yeah, aligned to the right one, right? So now again I'm copying this and putting some more information to the end users as per the registration form. So I'm adding the subjects, right? So for that I will use the English first, and then we'll try to replace radio button with checkboxes. So first let me to do English, Hindi, and then let me to add one more input control to display to the end user, just like it's a math, right? And now I am changing the type of the input control. It will be checkboxes because I have the multiple options to provide to the end user to select for their classes, because there are multiple subjects are just like that. So let me to add the enter. I forgot again. Yeah, it will go to the third line, and subjects, you can see, yeah, it's displaying. So there is a little space in English, so let me to reduce the padding, and it's again shifted to little left. Then I can increase the padding to 82. Yeah, right. So if I refresh it, yeah, now these are the aligned, but you can check it accordingly. So now you can see that 3 subjects are getting, user have the choice to use the select the all 3 classes, but for male and female we cannot give the options to select both. So for that there is a attribute name you have to add in the both of the radio buttons to make it consistent, so that the end user will select only one radio button. So you have to add name, and inside that you can write any type of person, ABC1 or XYZ. You have to give the similar name to the another radio button of male and female, right? Now let's see, save it, and if I try to click on male or female, only one option will get selected, right? So you have the reset button, register button, and see the design looks good. This will be the registration form. So that's it from this demonstration. For the next demonstration I'm going to explain more things, so stay tuned. You can find the code in the description box. Thank you so much.